Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more Project Zomboid, playing as a naked Black Ops Insurgent. Lost the uniform, but, you know, it happens. I kind of really like where this is going, and well, how do I put this? I'm asking you to just basically trust me and go with the story and the narrative and everything, just until I find the uniform, and or our uniform, just until I find, like, some clothing, and it's gonna make a lot more sense. Believe me. Essentially, I need to get clothing as soon as I can, because this is a bit ridiculous. But once I do, it's going to be beautiful. We had to leave the old base behind, partially because, yeah, it's literally overrun by zombies, partially because it's a really fun thing to do. You know, as soon as you set up, we have to move. It wasn't secure enough. It was in the center of the city. It didn't work out. Basically, every big zombie survival kind of piece of media does the same. You know, go with think of The Walking Dead, for example. They set up somewhere permanent, and it gets boring, right? Because once you're set up, you have no reason to leave. You're self-sufficient. There you go. Or even if you have to leave to do scavenging runs and stuff like that, ultimately it becomes really boring because everyone is just, oh, we got food, hooray, moving on, right? But with this, you know, you're more sort of, when you have to leave everything behind, it's, well, I mean, it's just more interesting, right? And not just more interesting, but it's kind of metaphorical too, about, you know, letting go, loss, life, etc., etc. You get into a little bit of depth there, even though I think it's kind of silly and superficial and shallow, but either way, it does have those elements of suffering, letting go, and kind of like the meaninglessness of it all, I suppose. Parts of all of that exist here as well, but the most important part is it's really fun to just sort of let go, grab all the, well, not maybe not even everything you need necessarily, or not even everything you need the most at the time, but grab whatever you can, right? Because I wasn't exactly in a position to just sit there and wait, kind of. And so grab whatever you can that's going to be useful, and just leave and abandon everything. And ultimately, I think that was the correct course of action that I took there. And so I'm going to venture off into this quieter part of town. I'm going to try and find a clothing store or something, or a military surplus store, a police station, something along those lines, and try and get clothing from that. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We can always pick up something from the dead, but it's rotten clothing, it's decayed, it's torn up, and all sorts of issues with it, right? That I would rather not have to wear that. But if I have to, I have to. You know, what can you do? Get the feeling I'm kind of sticking out like a sore thumb here, and I don't just mean because of how I look. It's like I'm getting attacked from all sides all the bloody time. Yeah. Another huge building. It's probably going to be high school. No, thank you. Not interested in returning to high school. I graduated already. No. Well, I partially graduated. I'm still at still doing PhD, but you get the gist of it, right? This seems like an okay place to look around for clothing. Just gonna need to... Oof, okay. I need to hurry. Can't be too relaxed. You never know around which corner the next big horde is hiding, right? Because, well, could be around any corner, really. I know this one's a feral. Probably the easiest feral kill of the game. Okay, let's not disturb that big group down there and just see what I can find in here. Juggernaut, you have to leave every bit of the uniform behind. Surely there was some things that were still... Yeah, a little bit of role-playing, right? A little bit of role-playing. It's ugly, and it doesn't make a lot of sense if I just replace parts of the uniform. Doesn't make it much of a uniform, right, in the sense of the meaning of the word. Plus, I like the idea, I really like the idea of keeping the backpack and the helmet as sort of symbolic reminders of where the run came from and what we're doing, but at the same time changing everything else to reflect a sort of more almost veteran status, right? Of the survivor here that's sort of been through hell, killed thousands of zombies, and sort of tried to battle his way through all of this. And ultimately, he had to adapt to his environment, right? He couldn't just stay... He couldn't look exactly the same as when he dropped in, because it's been so long, right? That's kind of the idea. And I really like that, so I'm gonna stick with that. I just really don't like the idea of running around naked. It doesn't make much sense, but, you know. I guess, on the one hand, it is a little bit funny. Too many. Too many. Also too dark in there. It's 22:30, Juggernaut. Yeah, it's dark. Why do you think it's dark? Oh, well, oops, I suppose. Okay, let's look for a smaller building, because clearing that out is going to take a while, and ideally I'd like to have some sunlight. Sunlight while doing it. Not a huge group. Okay. Okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. We will just go around. And we will keep going around. Jesus, this is the big cities. All of the buildings are huge. I don't want to spend the night skulking about, looking for a place to sleep, but that's exactly what's going to happen. Can't go back. Can only go forwards. Tell you what though, that down there looks like there might be smaller houses on the map. So let's try. Down there. Okay, none of those is a feral. I'm not gonna be able to sneak past them. I need to fight them. Yeah. Help of the cars. That was relatively simple. Okay. One more, and then another group that's kind of all over the place down there. There's just too many zombies inside this town. I need to leave. I need to leave, look for a farm somewhere, and settle down there. For a while, at least, until... Well, I don't know. It's been 10 years since the outbreak. I don't know what I'm waiting for. In fact, there's very little sense in waiting for anything at this point. Not much is going to change for the better, but, you know, a little bit of peace and quiet will go a long way. Oh, Screecher, please don't screech at me. Those guys just get up and... Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, there's the high school. I think the best course of action I can do now is just sort of... Maybe not a run, but... Kind of just, you know... Move at pace through this area. They also seem a bit, like the undead in general, seem a little bit more persistent now than they did before. I don't know if it's just my perception of things that's a bit shifted, I suppose, and different. Passing of time and all of that. But I think there's something behind that. They seem a little bit more persistent in their willingness to track you down and go after you. Screw you, I didn't see you. Where the hell did you come from? Okay, so tell you what, let's just keep going down this road. We'll see where it leads. I don't remember going down here. Maybe I did. Drive through the area. Maybe I didn't. Crying out loud, I can't even put on clothing. Alright, come on. You're in a nice conga line, one behind the other. Let's do it. More of you coming, come on. Okay, good. Well, at least maintenance level is up. Gigamart. Store by the name of Gigamart should have everything in there, right? Does that make sense? Okay, just shirt and some jeans so I'm not walking around in my underwear. Like I said, a store named Gigamart should have more than just food. This Gigamart is also... Ah, no, this isn't bad at all. This isn't bad at all. Let's, Not much in the way of clothing there, but I just need to find a way inside, because all the windows have those metal bars on them, so the zombies can't get in. The way inside is through the back. A fence here as well. I can wall this off. I mean, I don't know if I want to, if it's going to be any good setting up, well, just setting up inside, period, but... Hey. Right, let's pry it open. Pretty interesting. I can't see anything. I need a torch. Do I have anything? Yes, I do. I have a perfectly legitimate normal torch. Okay. Food. Still need a bit of food. The store's empty. Oh boy. The store is empty and very likely unlooted. Or at least not very looted, if that makes any sense. It does in my mind, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's not... It should have some good stuff inside it. Unfortunately, not really living up to its name of Gigamart. It's just... mainly just food in here. Yeah, it's like 90%. 99% food, maybe. Which is a tad unfortunate. Ooh. Chocolate covered coffee. Rocket marbles. That's funny. That's funny, that. Hmm. I don't suppose the Gigamart has a firearms section. Yeah, we're in Kentucky, but we're not, you know. Hmm. Well, ample food. Matter of fact, enough so to where I want to put down a blue apple right there. Because there's plenty of food. Sorry about that. Let's check the upstairs area. And possibly go to bed upstairs too, if there's an upstairs office of some description maybe, which I think this is exactly what that is. Yep, like a staff break room or something. Pretty much that. Alright. Not tired enough to sleep yet. Really? Really? After everything I've been through, I'm not tired. No, alright, alright. Never mind. That be the case, then... Well, I mean, if that's the case, then I'm just gonna put some of this stuff down. How much do I have? Oh, I could take sleeping pills. No. Tell you what, I'm just gonna drop this down. And 49.5 exactly on the money when it comes to this, so I can pick it up, right? Yes, I can. Alright, good. So, can't sleep, but I'm going to sit around, maybe read something if I have something to read. If not, then I'll just exercise for a little bit, and then I'll get to bed afterwards, and I'll see you all in the morning when we have a little bit more light. And then we're going to continue exploring, I guess. We could wall this off and make it into a base, but there's not much of a point. There's no real resources around. There's no water. There's no... I mean, I could technically just sort of have a safe zone here, but it's a pretty quiet part of town, so I don't really need it. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you all in the morning. And good morning, everyone. We're back. So, just did some exercising and went to sleep pretty much. That's all I did. I don't have anything to read on me, unfortunately. Plus, I don't think it's a question of having. I think it's a question of needing. I don't need to read anything. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have everything like buffed up. I guess fishing I could do with trapping is useless. So, not that, but yeah. Anyways, doesn't matter too much. Let's tell you what, I'm not going to use this Benelli. I'm just going to put it in the backpack. Make it a little bit heavy, but yeah. Really confident I'm not going to use this Benelli anytime soon, so yeah. So I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. I have a map of Raven Creek. And I think it's only fair because you can't get a map of Raven Creek. You can get a map of all the other towns, but not Raven Creek. One doesn't exist yet. So I do have a map of my own making, right? However, it's, I think, an old map of the town. And it's one of those happy coincidences where I kind of prefer it like this. Because according to the old map, the town ends here. But it clearly doesn't. However, I can use the old map to then roughly sort of guesstimate, as they say, where I'm supposed to be going and what I can find and what I can hope to find in certain areas, I guess. And I suppose one of the things that I hoped to find was this right here. I think this is a gun store. Another one. I think. I mean, I don't know for sure, but those look like firearms in the display cases. So now the only question is, how do I get inside? Because I would very much like to get inside of... What the hell? Oh. Phew, I thought it came from over there somewhere. It didn't. Yeah, the Shrieker didn't help. But I guess this goes to show that this is not the most action-packed part of town. I mean, we're in a gun store, or we're next to a gun store. There was a scream, and oddly enough, there's not that much attention that's been drawn to me. I mean, there's a couple coming in from the side. But I can take them down, even with like the bare bones basic skills, like a crowbar or something, and 1 level or 2 levels of long blunt. I still wouldn't have any problems dealing with any of this. So yeah, it's pretty really neat in my modest opinion. I wonder if they can break the glass from the inside. Pretty sure they can break the door from the inside. It wouldn't make a difference, but I'm sure they can. Not sure about the glass. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe I can drop it here without the, yeah, a bit risky, but there we go. Okay. Stalker knife's almost gone. But significantly more undead here. Although nothing uncontrollable, you know, like nothing absolutely crazy or whatever. Still very manageable. I can't wait to explore this building, because I don't think there's going to be that many in there. Right. Yeah, makes sense. Alright, come on. Okay, regular hoodie, lumberjack shirt. Well, there's clothing, so... And there's clean clothing, so that's good. Just make sure I don't die for, you know, pair of clean underwear or something. I say I found clean clothing and I proceed to dirty them all pretty much instantaneously. I know. I know. Guns and ammo, there we go. Holy moly. I think this is all of the ones coming out of the building, and honestly, I'm pretty happy with getting rid of them here. Could use some more kills with a knife, even though I'm not used to the range. Or at least not as used to the range as I am with the other weapons. Yeah, this is definitely all the ones coming out of the building. Mainly because of the screechers. Fun fact, the moment I started saying the word screech, my intention was to say because of the screecher singular, but then I heard another one, so that sentence sort of changed midway through pronunciation. Rather smoothly, if I can say so myself. I prefer it if it hadn't. But, oh yeah, there we go. Ooh boy. Okay. I guess the question is now what, right? Well, now, kill the feral, obviously, and then kill the other feral. I think I just lead them around on like a goose hunt. Like all the way around. I did not know you were a screecher too. I am switching to my machete. Also getting a tad weepy, apparently. Why exactly, I'm not sure, but it is happening. Okay. Drop the stalker knife. Man, how are they already here? They teleport or something? I sprinted away from them. How do they get so close so quickly? Let's put on this hoodie. This is what I was saying last time, like the less persistent now than they were last time. At least that's what it felt like. At least I mean, I'm not saying they actually change. I just feel like there's at different times they have different levels of interest, which is a strange thing to say, but yeah. Well, I said it was a quiet part of town. I had to run my mouth, didn't I? Oh man, if it wasn't for the one screeching, I would have been out of here by now, but they're attracting so much attention, Jesus. Alright. Ooh, no. Look at that, they're coming from miles away to form a mighty host of terrible stench and undeath. Holy hell. The range on those creatures must be, like, insane. Must be at least as loud as a gunshot, if not more. Well, sandbag, someone tried to make a stand here. It doesn't seem like it worked. But an attempt was made. Where on earth do I go now, like, to get away from all of this? I have a... Sorry, I have a plan. I mentioned the old map that I have, and it's just literally just like fortunate circumstance that I have it. It's not like planned or anything. I genuinely do have the only map I have available to me right now. The only map I could find was from an old version of Raven Creek. Now, I'm not even sure there is an updated version out. If there is, cool, but I don't have it, so yeah. Tough luck. But basically, I have the old version of the Raven Creek map, and in the old version, Raven Creek was a lot smaller. But that doesn't matter all that much. In a sort of grand exploratory scheme of things, because I know roughly where I should be heading. It's not overly helpful, but it's a little bit helpful. So the Gigart, according to my map, the Gigart that I was just at is the end of the line. That's where the city ended. Clearly it doesn't, but I know, just based on that sort of, I don't know what happens to the right of the Gigart on the map. Like, I don't know what's that way, but I kind of know what's over here is my point. And I think there's a police station relatively close to where I'm at right now. However, that police station may have been moved or replaced by something else. It's one of the problems of having an old map, right? So, I don't know, but if nothing else, I did manage to crawl and sneak my way inside another building, which I shall now explore, so at least something good is coming out of all of this. I'll probably find some food. He said wishfully. Guess not. Might be keys to the whole building here, so... Don't want to disturb them. What I want instead is to get to the second floor, because then I can move around a little bit more freely. Really? It's one of those unfinished buildings? Really? Yeah, it's one of those buildings that's just, you have just the walls, nobody moved in yet. Maybe nobody moved into the two or three apartments that I tried. Maybe they did it the others. Who knows? Let's see. Still need that sledgehammer. Needle at this point, like I said, I've given up on it. I think at some point a long while ago, somebody told me that ripping clothes can give you a needle. It can't. You can't get a needle from, like, ripping a jacket or something, because, shockingly, you don't have a needle in your jacket. You can have it in your pocket, but it's not part of the jacket itself, right? So, no. What they were thinking of instead, and I apologize, I forgot the name of the person that said this, but what they were thinking of instead is thread. And you can get a whole heap of thread from ripping clothes apart. That's not a problem. I have thread. I don't have a needle. Well, like I said, this was a comment from a while ago, so I apologize, I'm only addressing it now. I've been rather busy with the last few days, what with the hidden base and everything. So, yeah. I suppose I can wash myself at least a little bit now. Took up most of the water that's already in the sink. Unfortunate. One more floor up, I suppose, yeah. Looks I need to be here, but because I would like to take a look at my surroundings. More specifically, I'd like to take a look at the street from up here. Let's just not fall that, that's close enough. Could make it across here and over into the parking lot and towards that big building. There's that bus I came across recently. This is very familiar. I'm right across the street from the Gigart. Okay. Okay. While I'm looking at this, I'm going to try and remember. I'm going to just sort of talk you through the map that I have and the map that I know of. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah. Right. So, hello. Okay. There we go. Don't know why it's doing that. I think every time I alt-tab it does that. Never mind. Okay. So, here's the thing. Over here is the Gigart. According to my map, this is like the corner of the town, like this. This doesn't exist according to my map. It's here, and then it sort of bulges out over here, and then that's it. Obviously, town's been expanded. Big friggin' town, this. Alright. Here, there should be, I think, an outpost of some description. Based on the fact that I think that there's an outpost over there, I can sort of guesstimate where I am and what's going on, I think. This over here, this was the warehouse or the storage units or whatever. I know that, I have that on the map as well. Not exactly in this location, but somewhere around here. Let's see, or it might not be that storage unit, it might be a different one. Oh, it's hard to tell, I can't do it. I honestly can't do it, I don't know. I'm trying to basically, sort of in my brain, I'm trying to put this map atop of the map that I roughly have an idea of in my head. I'm putting a real map on top of an imaginary map that I have in my head. And they're not lining up, but I expect them not to line up perfectly, but I'm still trying to sort of get a rough feel of what's going on, but too much has been moved in this sort of general area that I don't know where to go and where to head and how. But tell you what, though, that's going to do it for this episode. We found some peace and quiet in this building, if nothing else, and managed to avoid that big horde. Next time, I think I'm going back to the gun store, try and get in there and see if there's primarily ammunition, but, you know, there might be other stuff in there that's worth picking up. This building's unfortunately empty, but it is what it is. Right. So, that's what we're doing next time. We're going to get back into the gun store, loot it, and try and go northeast-ish on the map, because I think there's some sort of either police station or outpost or something there that might be of interest to me. And then after that, I will, well, based on what we find there, I'll decide whether we set up base there or maybe we set up base somewhere else. But we are setting up base pretty much 1 or 2 episodes from here. I expect to find a permanent place of residence. I really do like how the uniforms change, though. It gives you sort of a character progression, a bit of a story and everything. I like that quite a bit. Alright, see you all next time. Have fun, take care, bye-bye.